Yes, our Toastmaster, everyone, Jeff Vanek.
And our speaker, Kevin.
Once upon a time, because that's how all good stories really start, isn't it? The ancient Egyptians prepared their great leaders for the afterlife through mummification. In this process, they took great care to make sure that the body would be ready for this person when they reached the next life. As part of this process, they also took special care of the heart to make sure that the center of feeling and emotion were ready when this leader made it to the next life. Interestingly, these Egyptians who took such care of everything needed for these leaders to make it into the next life and be prepared to rule there, discarded the brain. It was rejectamenta, a word I just learned. Bringing this to our day, the Toastmasters education program also has a heart and a mind, as it were. Most people come to Toastmasters to overcome a fear. Mostly a fear of public speaking, of getting up in front of a group of people and seeming like a fool. And so half of the education program addresses that. That's the part through competent communication I think most of us are very familiar with. Like the Egyptians, we take great care of that heart. What I want to talk about today is the mind of the Toastmasters education program. Competent leadership. Intriguingly, this is the ignored mind of the mummification of the Toastmasters education program. Not just in our club, but I think throughout. As you research competent communicator, there are dozens of sources. With leadership, there's far fewer. But I want to talk about three specific parts of the competent leadership program and how they impact us. The first I want to talk about is actually the first project, listening. Each of us is born able to hear. At least each of us in this room, because we are all hearing right now. But listening is a learned skill, something we develop. And it's the first key to the Toastmasters education program, to listen to understand. In the September 2014 Toastmaster magazine, there was actually an article dealing with questioning and answers that said, don't ask a question if you don't want to hear the answer. Often that happens in the world. But as Toastmasters, we are learning to listen. We're gaining this skill. It's one of the keys of leadership. The second leadership key I want to talk about is giving feedback. How often do we receive feedback in our lives? From a boss, a spouse, a parent, a teacher, somebody on the street, the policeman who kindly stops us in South Jordan? We receive feedback. But how much of that is actually helpful feedback and how much is just punishment? We learn in Toastmasters to give helpful feedback. The importance of evaluation was actually one of the articles in the August 2014 Toastmaster magazine. Go figure. A good resource when you're talking about Toastmasters. And as you look at the evaluations that happen in this club, the best evaluations aren't always the most polished. These are speeches given off the cuff. The best evaluations are those that find a hidden nugget, covered in dirt, that the speaker can brush off, clean up, and have something to do better the next time they speak. Those are the evaluations that always stand out in my mind. That are the ones that really build a speaker up, build their confidence, and improve their abilities. The third piece of the Competent Leadership Program I want to talk about is actually the 9th project, where we get an opportunity to take everything we learned in the first 8 projects pass on our legacy through mentoring. Again, going back to the Toastmaster magazine from May 2014. Talk about mentoring. And I equate this back to the Egyptians. They took leaders and prepared them to leave a legacy in the next life. In Toastmasters, we don't have to wait that long. We can leave a legacy for next year. We can bring new members in, teach them, train them, lift them, build them so they are our legacy that we can see come about while we're still here in this life. We don't even have to be mummified. Toastmasters conducted a survey a short while ago. And this was actually cited by Steve Pyatt, our District 15 Lieutenant Governor for Education and Training. He's shared in this survey that of Toastmaster members who do not earn any award, they show up for club, they join, but they don't do anything with competent leader or communicator, 66% renew. It means we lose a third of them every 6 months. Of those in Toastmasters who earn their Competent Leadership Award, 90% will renew. Those who earn any leadership award, so Competent, Advanced Leadership, any of the leadership awards increases to 95%, or 92%, excuse me, 95 elsewhere, 92% of those will renew. Why is this? I don't think it's just because the award says you're going to renew. I think it's because in the leadership track of Toastmasters, we find the true value. People come to get over that fear, to overcome the emotion, the heart. But it's the forgotten mind of the program, the leadership, the giving back and helping someone else along the track that really gives people the value in Toastmasters. And with that, that is how we know Toastmasters is succeeding as we build leaders for the future.